The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
All right, 14:20 in the afternoon, up and running on this 15th day of August 2025, Friday afternoon, getting ready for the big weekend ahead of us. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code BELLYUP at SeatGeek.com and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to BellyUpSports.com to get all the great sports articles and get ready for the football season, the college football season, especially with the guys over there at Tailgate on the Quad. Of a great show that I've listened to for a couple of years now to get my college football fix. As you know, my USC Trojans are getting ready to go in their second season in the Big Ten. It'd be interesting to see how that the conversations are this weekend with the Michigan sanctions that they got and the fines, and how it kind of relates to what happened to USC years ago with Pete Carroll and everything else. But that's another story for another day. Maybe we'll touch on that tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon if I get around to do another one of these things. And thank you to everybody who's been listening to the show in the last week. Put a lot more content out there for your listening and viewing pleasure. It's been a lot of fun this week. It's took a little time away from the office just to take a little settle down and just recoup and revamp and just get the juices flowing again. But yeah, it's been a good week here at 1420 World Headquarters. Just watched the Canadian Little League team that from Little Mountain in Vancouver, who I like you guys already know. We've talked about it ad nauseum a little bit. That was they just lost to Venezuela 4-0 and couldn't find the strike zone the first couple innings, and this kind of how things work. A couple wild pitches, and that's how it is. But Canada down to Venezuela at 4-0. But the Little League World Series has been great. We'll make sure you guys catch up on that throughout the weekend, and it's been a lot of fun to watch that. And then see the kids that you umpire just a week and a half ago. They're on TV at Williamsport on ESPN, so it's been a lot of fun. But anyways, we'll get off that until probably tomorrow. We'll talk about it again. But there's been obviously a lot of talk about the Yankees' struggles as of late, and justifiably so. And we won't talk about the Yankees much, but that's low-hanging fruit because everybody enjoys the Yankees when they're not doing well. We like seeing that for them to struggle and not do very well, and people just tend to pounce on that. But there's been a couple other teams that have been struggling quite mightily in the last little bit. One is the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the other is the New York Mets. And I'm going to talk about the Dodgers a little bit at first here. It might be a World Series hangover, but now they had a big lead, as they always do, and obviously the preseason pick to win the National League West, as they've done the last 20 years or 15 years, whatever it's been. World Series champions last year in 5 games over the Yankees. Got off to a great start, have the big payroll, have all the stars, have Ohtani and Betts, and on it goes, and have 14 starting pitchers, and everybody that they want, they go out and get, and players are clamoring to go there. But things haven't been going very well for those Los Angeles Dodgers for quite some time. They find themselves a game out of first place with the San Diego Padres with those glorious gray and brown pinstripe uniforms. Still love those. We've got to find a way to get those into the Lethbridge Bulls. Maybe not the brown, but we'll get some blue pinstripes on there. It's fantastic uniforms. But just having troubles with right now, the Dodgers just can't get anything going hardcore, can't get anything going. Dave Roberts has got to be beside himself. Just the pitching staff hasn't been great. Mookie Betts has been a little bit better as of late. Ohtani's Ohtani. He's going to do what he's going to do, but it just doesn't seem like they got anything going. Maybe it's a bit of a World Series hangover. That maybe it's been a lot of baseball over a lot of years and a lot of time. And just not flowing right. They're still hitting the home runs like they always do. Pitching is okay. Their bullpen is struggling quite a bit as of late, but just can't get anything going, which is really odd for that Dodgers team because they set the bar pretty high out there at Chavez Ravine and the Guggenheim Group led by Magic Johnson. He's more of a figurehead of that whole organization. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen with that team. And it's just time that maybe one of these other teams are going to break through, and one of these other teams are going to find a way to overtake the Dodgers. And the Padres, they went and made some deals at the deadline, went and got that relief pitching that the Dodgers didn't do. They went and raided the cupboards of the Oakland A's and got two big guys for the bullpen. And Oakland A's, Sacramento A's or just the Athletics or whatever they're called, they'll always be the Oakland A's to me. And like we talked about yesterday, I still don't think they're going to end up in Las Vegas. There'll be a team in Las Vegas, but they won't be called the Athletics. That's still, mark my words on that. But you wonder what's going to happen with that Dodger team, and if they're going to get out of the slump, and if they're going to have, like, really the season starts right now for the Dodgers. The great start they had, the big lead went away, but now they're on the 15th day of August with 40 some games left. Is this the opening day for them? They find themselves a game out with a big series at home against the Padres, who are just flying. And the Padres have been kind of building this for a few years. It was only just last year in the playoffs that the Padres almost beat the Dodgers in the divisional round, and so you wonder if this is just the Padres year. Eventually, it kind of has to happen. I mean, they spent a lot of money over the years. They went for it a couple of years ago when they acquired Juan Soto from the Washington Nationals. They made the deal for to get rid of Soto last year with the Yankees, and they loaded up, and they got a really good team that can do a little bit of damage. And Manny Machado is still one of the better players in not better, but one of the elite players in baseball. They have a great fan base. They have people wanting to play there, and I can't see why anybody wouldn't want to be a San Diego Padre. What a beautiful, beautiful building. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I've been to a lot of Major League Baseball parks, and that one is probably the best. To me, that one is the most fantastic, fan-friendly, great. Well, the weather's really good too, so that doesn't hurt. And just the gas lamp district and the fun that I had there was, I drank a few beers, but it was a lot of fun. It's a great ballpark, and why they haven't been able to get to that next level and attract free agents over the years is kind of a mystery. They had an ownership group that was willing to spend some money the last couple of years, and they went out and did it. Tatis Jr. We don't know about his not struggles, but his situation with some steroids or performance enhancing drugs. But this might be the year that the Padres finally get over that hump and slay the dragon. That is the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers will be fine. They'll make the playoffs. They'll be a wild card team at the very least, because the rest of the division is fairly weak with the Giants who are struggling. That's unbelievable how bad the Giants actually are. And then you have the Arizona, who just didn't get off the ground hot, didn't follow up with any of their playoff runs of recent past, and just can't get anything going there. It just didn't happen for them this year. And then of course you have the Colorado Rockies. So there's a lot of teams in that division that just get beat up by the Dodgers over the years. But this year the Padres are going to be a tough out, and this is a big series, and I'm going to be tuned in for sure over the weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of baseball, not just that series, but there's some other series I'm going to touch on in a bit here. But that Padres team is really good, and maybe it's finally a time that. And Machado's got to kind of think about maybe leaving a legacy behind, not just a guy who signed for here, was in Baltimore for a lot of years, drafted, and then just kind of he's been middling in in Neverland out there in San Diego, because they don't get a lot of hype because of how good LA's been over the years. So you wonder if this is the year the Padres actually get it done. They haven't really done anything of substance since 99 or 98? When the Yankees beat them on a questionable call from the umpire that Tino Martinez hit the grand slam off Trevor Hoffman, and the rest is history. But you hope that Dodgers thing isn't done, and I do think they'll be fine. But it's kind of you wonder why you wonder what these owners do when they spend this much money. We talk about the Yankees, how over the years how Cashman spends a bunch of money every year. Now this year Cohen's got they're spending a bunch of money with the $51 million they spent on Soto, and then the Dodgers are spending X amount, probably if they were to count all the money, be $400 million plus, and to not be in first place, it'd be a bit of a embarrassment. How other teams like the Milwaukee Brewers, who are about 20th or 23rd, I think, in payroll at 120 million, 115 million, whatever it is, and they won 12 in a row, got best record in baseball, and are looking to keep it going this weekend against the Reds. And the Reds are fighting for their playoff spot, so that series might be a good one to watch too a little bit. Might tune into that one. Haven't watched. It's been a long time since I watched a Milwaukee Brewers Cincinnati Reds game. Maybe this is the weekend I finally sit down on the old couch and recliner and watch one of those games. But you wonder what these especially the Mets. Let's get into the Mets. The Mets are an embarrassment. Let's not sugarcoat this. That's an absolute abysmal embarrassment of a franchise. Years of mediocrity, years of doing nothing, years of pretending. Yeah, they've had some nice little runs there in 2015 when they lost to the Royals in the World Series final. And yeah, they got their World Series in 1986. That's a long time ago. That is a long time ago that they've done anything. Yeah, 2000 they went to the Subway Series against the Yankees, but that franchise is absolutely abysmal. Just the other day, they celebrated Pete Alonso breaking the all-time Mets home run record of 263. This franchise has been around since 1960, 67, 68. Then the Amazing Mets is 69. So whatever year it was a little bit before my time. But they only have a guy who's hit 260 home runs. That's something to brag about, and for that to be all over the papers and all over the internet and all over TV that Pete Alonso's the new home run king. And yesterday, Darryl Strawberry was on the Michael Kay show, and they were talking about it. And Strawberry didn't play there that many years. You remember he went to the Dodgers in free agency in about 89 or 90, I think it was. So he wasn't a Met for that long. He had 262 or whatever the magical number is. So you think how embarrassing that franchise is and how they're just not being able to put it together. And now to be on a 1-9 streak and put together some really bad baseball games and really bad efforts on a nightly basis. I watched them play the Mets the Braves last night down here, and you just knew that they weren't going to win. And they were already on year one of the Soto deal, only on year one, sorry. And it doesn't seem to be working out. Frank the Tank from Barstool, I don't know if you guys, he's got there's some issues and grievances there for sure, but he's already ready to go down to Queens and get rid of Soto himself. And you're in year one of buyer's remorse with the fan base. That can't be good. I mean, you're never going to live up to a $51 million contract, 51 per year, because nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows how to react, like what a successful season is for a guy who makes 51 million. Nobody knows how to react to that. But the rest of the team is also just not doing it. They got no pitching. They got Alonso, and then you go through a lineup. I'm going to be reading some names off here, and these are big names. You got Soto, Alonso, Lindor, Brandon Nimmo, Diaz out of the bullpen, who's been lights out. But if you can't get to him, then what good is it? Like Diaz is one of the one of the best relievers in baseball, one of the best closers in baseball. There's no getting around that. And then Starlin Marte and Cedric Mullins. Like all those names are great players and guys that should be. That's 7 or 8 guys I just named off there that should be doing something. And you're losing 10 in a row, or 1 and 9 and 10, and they're just got nothing going. And then they got the Mariners, who are hotter than a pistol right now, and they're coming in this weekend. And the Mariners got something to prove. They're going to win the division, so they're not going to be a pushover by any means. It's not a good look for the Mets, and for Steve Cohen to be spending that kind of money at 320, 330, 340, and then just go out and spend more. That's not a recipe for success. You can't outspend your problems. And the Mets are a problem. They're just I don't want to go as far as saying they're embarrassment. They're the little brother, because I'm a Yankee guy, as everybody knows. But to go out and lose that many games and just be not relevant, to have one of the best records in baseball after 2 months, not just in the division, in baseball, and now just holding on for dear life to a wild card spot. That's not good. And the Yankees are in the same boat. I mean, both teams are struggling. There's no getting around that. And both teams are getting right back in the playoffs. But the Mets have done this in just astronomical, ridiculous fashion, how bad they've been with that lineup. The Mets lineup is I would say 78 to 80% better than what the Yankees have. The Yankees have Aaron Judge, Stanton right now, and then a bunch of guys, right? You got a bunch of guys. Those names I just read off for the Mets are all stars, or have been all-stars in the past, and they just can't put it together. So that's got to be something inherently wrong with the structure of that team, that you just keep inserting guy here, insert guy here, insert guy here. That doesn't work. That's not the way baseball can work. Yeah, it's a game of, we talked about just a couple of days ago, it's individualistic skills and achievements over top of a team structure. It all has to work together. But for this team to struggle the way they are, and to be backing into a playoff spot, which they might not do or they might do, there's no guarantee with this at all. And the Yankees are the same way. I'm not giving the Yankees a pass. I'm not doing the old look over here thing and look at this train wreck and don't look at that train wreck. I mean, every car wreck's a car wreck. You're going to have looky loos no matter what. But this one is this is a failure of epic proportions. And it is a successful season if you back into that third wild card spot. Probably not. I mean, you're happy to be there, I would think, but you're playing in a game you don't want to play in, or a series you don't want to play in, especially spending that kind of money. The Phillies aren't doing it. The Phillies are going to win a division. They spent $350 million. So out of those $300 million plus payrolls, 3 out of the 4 might be wild card teams. Like, that's not good. Like, that's on scouting and analytics and coaching and players. And actually, let's put it on the players. Let's put that on the players. Like, all the money in the world, these guys are high in the hog and everything else. Maybe they say, you know what? We don't need to spend that kind of money. Take a look over your shoulder. Look at the Brewers, just flying right now. They could be 15 in a row when this weekend's over out in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's playing for the playoff lives, so they'll have a little bit of jump in their step too. But you have 3 out of the 4 $300 million plus payrolls, and the Dodgers are probably at 400 plus if you factored in deferred money. And they are going to be a wild card team. There better not be a celebration on the last day of the season or whenever they clinch a playoff spot, celebrating. They're putting their damn goggles on and spraying champagne all over the place and pouring beer everywhere. Because I wouldn't be proud of that. I'd be happy. I'd be happy that it's happening. Because you still got a shot. Like, if you can't win the World Series if you're not in it, right? And if you're out of the playoffs, you're not in it. But I wouldn't be having my team celebrate that steaming pile of garbage. Hey, we should celebrate this. No, go home, get some sleep, and get on the airplane tomorrow. Because we're not playing at home. We're in a third wild card spot. We're not celebrating this. You have nothing to celebrate. And I've thought that a lot over the years, too. I mean, we used to talk about it a little bit in years past. Now, all of a sudden, we're getting close to playoff baseball. But I've thought that in years past. Yeah, okay, you won the wild card round. What are we doing spraying champagne? Yeah, we won the divisional round. Yeah, what are we doing spraying champagne? I think you can only, if you win the pennant, you win the American League or the ALCS, the NLCS, you win the pennant either, and then the World Series, you get to celebrate. The rest is just you're moving on. Put your stuff in your bag, throw it on the bus, it gets on the plane. See you later. We got more work to do. To get all jacked up about winning 2 games, to go on to play another one, I think it's ridiculous. And if the Mets and the Yankees or the Dodgers and their $300 million plus payrolls go celebrating a a wild card spot, I'd be embarrassed. And if I was ownership, I'd be mad. I'd be so mad at those guys for doing that. Like, what have we done here? I'd be Lou Brown in that stuff and throwing bats in the showers. Or was that was on Bull Durham? But you know what I mean, lollygagging it. But you know what I'm getting at. That's nothing to celebrate. And the Mets shouldn't be celebrating. The Yankees shouldn't be celebrating, and the Dodgers shouldn't be celebrating right now. Each team could turn to something around. Each team could end up putting together a 10-game winning streak. Well, maybe not the Yankees. Probably not the Mets. The Dodgers could. But when you have a record like that, 1-9 in your last 10, that's who you are. To fall out of the graces and be a 500 team since April or end of May, that's who you are. Barely 500 or under 500. That's who you actually are. Whatever hot start you got to, that's not who you are. This is who you are. And the Mets, I don't know. The Mets are going to Met, like Jeter said in his documentary. The Mets are the Mets, and they're going to, that Soto shuffle and that Soto remorse, man. It's going to come up big in the next few years. There's the money was huge, but nobody's and you're stuck with that. You're stuck with that. Is this Soto's fault? Probably not. It's the rest of the franchise and the rest of everything else. You can't outspend your problems when it comes to this. And the Yankees and the Mets have not been able to outspend their problems for a long time. Cohen's going to keep trying, and you got to commend him. If I had the dough, I'd do it. I keep trying to buy players, see whatever we can do. I'd also try to build up a farm system, spend my money properly. But this is an absolute train wreck of a season for the Mets, and it's not getting better. They got an all-time great closer. They have the all-time Mets home run leader now in Pete Alonso. Whoopity-doo. They're going to back into the playoffs maybe at 320 or 350 million. Like heads got to like you got to think heads got to roll when it comes down to that stuff. You would have to think that people can't be happy with just backing into the playoffs. And if there's a champagne celebration, the players should be ashamed of themselves. I hope there'd be players that would walk out and say, we don't deserve to be celebrating. Put the champagne away until we win the NLCS, the ALCS, because we don't deserve to be celebrating. Yeah, we're happy to still be playing, but this isn't a time to celebrate. King of a third world country, that's all you are. And third world countries don't celebrate that kind of stuff. They don't have the money to do it. I don't know. There's just my thoughts and shots for this Friday. It's Friday. Hey, it's a Friday afternoon here, Yankee Tavern North. We got a little do some Brent's best bets, and we'll get everybody out of here. Brent's best bets brought to you by Bodog. Know your limit, play within it, and most of all, make sure you play responsibly. If you do go over there to Bodog and make a few bets or whatever it is you're gambling. If you guys would have listened to my bets, it was a Tuesday afternoon. I went 3 for 3. You would have put down $20. You would have been $173 richer. But let's get into the some of the games I've already mentioned tonight. Mariners got the Mets, Brewers at the Reds, Padres at Dodgers. Take the visiting team in all three. I don't got any faith in the Mets as I just spoke of. So take the Mariners. They're looking for a playoff spot. The Brewers are going to be looking for their 13th straight win overall, and looking to extend their lead in the National League and the best record in baseball overall. And the Padres looking to do some damage against the Dodgers team. And I didn't know this. The Dodgers actually lost 6 in a row this year to the Anaheim Angels. If you lose 6 in a row to the Angels, there's no celebrating there. That's your crosstown rival. You lose all 6. That's a bad look on a Dodgers team that's going to get it. So take the Mariners, the Brewers, the Padres. Put down $20, win yourself $151 over there at Bodog. There it is, Brent's Best Bets, brought to you by Bodog. Know your limit, play within it, and if you're going to play, make sure you play responsibly over there at Bodog. This weekend, there's some great viewing for sports fans. I know everybody's getting jacked up for the NFL season. There'll be NFL games on, but to turn off the NFL, the exhibition games don't matter. Nobody cares, or you shouldn't care. It's a bunch of hoo-ha. But there's some great series. We get a Little League World Series. Tune into that. The kids are great. I'm watching a game right now. It's going to be on my TV all weekend long. So make sure you tune in. The Little League Classic on Sunday night. Mariners, Mets in Williamsport at the Journey Bank Ballpark. Historic Bowman Field, home of the Williamsport Crosscutters in the draft league. So that'll be a fun one to watch on Sunday. So maybe there'll be some little bit of magic for the Mets, because like last year, it's just it's a great event that the kids are out there. They transport a minor league ballpark into a major league park, put it at like a 2,000 seat venue, make it into about I think 7,000 or 8,000. So it's a great venue. So it's a great watch on TV. It's a great TV event. So make sure you watch that. And then Brewers Reds all weekend long. So make sure you watch those great series. It's baseball season. Dog days of summer upon us. Summer's winding down, but baseball season's heating up. So make sure you watch all those games. Have a great weekend, folks. Going to be on with Lou Gamlin, the Captain Luke Extravaganza later on this week. Got, who was it? Up West podcast. He's going to be joining me again, talking some Mariners baseball. We got that going on. And then Full Count Chaos, talking with about the disappointing season that is the Baltimore Orioles. So it should be a fun weekend of baseball and a fun catch up with these guys I talked to, and catch up with Lou's always a good thing. Lou Gamlin of the Captain Luke Extravaganza. So anyways, there it is. That's the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports, talking a whole lot more. Friday afternoon. Hey, let's have a couple beers, celebrate the weekend. It's summertime. Go to SeatGeek.com if you're going somewhere over the weekend. Need some tickets, go to SeatGeek and use promo code BELLYUP at SeatGeek. Like, subscribe, share, hit the like, subscribe, share, hit the alert button, hit the thumbs up button, just so we put something up on Belly Up. Subscribe to Belly Up Network YouTube channel. Check out all their great stuff. And it's going to be a great week in sports. And it's summertime. Let's go and have some fun. And we'll talk to everybody soon. Have a good Friday, folks. And remember, It doesn't matter where you are. It's who you're with. We'll talk to you guys all again tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For beer and sports talk and a whole lot more, brought to you by SeatGeek. Go to bellyupsports.com for the best of sports articles and podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever it is you get your podcast. Let's get in.